This is exactly what the Buccaneers needed after just a long history of special teams and just not doing well in the kicking game. The Buccaneers have finally found not only a franchise kicker, but possibly the best kicker in the Bucs history. And now here we are after some really bad special teams woes to begin the season. Now looking like a lot of things are looking better. I'm Sebastian with Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. Please subscribe, join Bucs Digest, comment, like. We're trying to get to 3,000. We're less than 100 subscribers away from getting to 3,000. It would mean the world to help us get there. So anything you could do can help. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. Let's jump into this because I really want to shout out this guy right here. And honestly, the punter as well, and just overall the improvement that we've seen over the last few months. Like it was looking really dark at the beginning of this year, and now things are obviously on the uptick currently. And I'm just thrilled. I'm so thrilled that we're not having to talk about this or worry about it anymore. Knocking on wood again. You don't want to take things for granted, but let's jump into it because, like I said, Chase Mclaughlin. Holy smokes! So this actually graphic was made before Sunday's game against the Cardinals, and so I'll update the stats for you in just a moment. But at the point of when it was posted, the Bucs posted that among players with 30-plus career field goal attempts from 50-plus yards, Chase Mclaughlin's 84.8 field goal percentage, 39 of 46 from 50-plus yards, is the second highest in league history. Not just in the league this year, in league history. And that's only improved off of the 57-yarder from last week against the Cardinals. Speaking of, so Greg Allman posted, Chase Mclaughlin now leads all NFL kickers this season with 9 field goals of 50-plus yards. He's 9 for 9, and no other kicker has more than 6 without a miss. He's hit from 65, 58, 57, 55, 55, 54, 54, 53, and 52. So, it's inarguable that he is money almost from long distance more than he is short distance. I remember during the Jets game, the Bucs took a delay of game penalty, I believe, and we were all like freaking out because I was in the stands during that game. Like, why did they do that? And Todd Bowles explained after the game in the post-game conference that Chase is actually better when he can has more space to work with. Weirdly enough, that's actually kind of reassuring. And so I wasn't expecting that answer, but I mean, it makes sense. Sometimes when you're too close to the target, it might mess with you. It's really bizarre. But at the same time, it's cool. That means we trust him. I've trusted him every single time. I'm nervous when he kicks long field goals, but I know that he can hit them. I mean, I was there when he hit that 65-yarder, which is now the Bucs franchise record and the NFL record for outdoor kicking. So really impressive stuff all around from Chase. And I just can't say enough about what he has meant to the Buccaneers since when he joined the team on 2023. He's well on his way to be. I mean, we have to do whatever it takes to lock this guy up for as long as possible. We all thought we were worried that maybe he was getting some kicking blues at the beginning of this season. I think it was a missed extra point and another missed field goal and then the blocked kick. So there were just 3 weeks of not great field goal play. And a lot of us were wondering, oh my gosh, is he already hitting the end of his career? Luckily, that was not the case. And then there was the punt stuff, and now there's kick coverage stuff. So special teams, don't get me wrong, there is still stuff to work on. The Bills game especially was egregious in kick coverage, but I'm mostly wanting to shout out in this video how Chase Mclaughlin has just been absolute money, and our punter, Riley Dixon, has massively improved. I mean, his average yards isn't the greatest thing in the world, his punt yards, that is, but he's getting a lot more accurate, and he's not getting blocked. So it's clear that the Bucs have been working on this over time, over the weeks, ever since that it was clearly a big problem for our special teams unit early in the season. And I just really, people want to, keep, nagging on the fact that, listen, and these are, nagging is not the right word. The complaints on the defense are very valid. They shouldn't be playing as badly as they are, but at the same time, there are improvements in other areas that they only get highlighted when they're going badly, like offensive line play. Typically, people don't notice offensive line play unless things are going badly, like the quarterback's getting sacked or pressured a ton, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with special teams. I mean, the kicker is a bit more easy to highlight, but blocking is always something that you don't think about until a field goal gets blocked, or a punt gets blocked. And this is something that we haven't been had to talk about for months. And I think it's just, I really wanted to highlight it because it is one of the things that I think they did a really good job of. Adam Slavin from Pewter Report said that consistent Dixon, that's what he's calling him, was in week 13, he punted 5 times for a 48-yard average and a net 46.8-yard average. That included pinning 3 punts inside the Arizona 20-yard line and 2 inside the Arizona 10-yard line. That 46.8 net average was his third highest mark in a game this season and the highest in a game in which he punted at least 4 times. In addition, his efforts saw the Bucs rank first in the NFC in Week 13 for opponents starting field position after punts, limiting the Cardinals to an average of their own 12-yard line, and that clearly, it earned him the honors of NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Who would have thought that would have been the case earlier this season? But here he is, Dixon, making up for some of his mistakes this season. And you love to see it because the punting game has been brutal for the Buccaneers for a little while now. Camarda, we thought we had our guy, and then it didn't turn out to be the case. He kind of fell off a cliff last year. Dixon's come in. It did not look strong to start, but now he is really kind of locked in a little bit. It feels like he's well aware of the blocking issue, and his wind up for punting is clearly more of something that he does not want to be an issue going forward. So I just want to shout him out that they're doing good jobs, both the special teams unit and Dixon himself, of improving, of taking it to heart and taking it personally that that's not how you want to start a season, and it might have cost us a game against the Eagles and stuff like that. It could have cost us against the Jets too. So listen, he did a great job against Arizona. It was a 3-point game in the end. It could be the difference. I mean, he punted them to down them way inside their own territory, and the Bucs were able to get a defensive stop to end the game. So he was massive. He deserves those honors. And listen, we don't want to have to rely on our punter, but when it becomes a field position game, which can happen, especially in divisional games, we have 3 upcoming now, he might be a crucial piece that I really want people to pay attention to, because I do think that he has earned just maybe not the benefit of the doubt, but some recognition at the very least. So that's just what I wanted to bring up in that case. But back to Chase, Joshua Quibble from Pewter Report said that after a shaky start to the season where he missed 3 of his first 9 field goal attempts, including a blocked kick in the Bucs' first 3 games of the season, Chase Mclaughlin has now connected on 14 of his last 15 since Week 4. Mclaughlin is also only 5 such kicks away from tying the all-time record of field goals from 50 yards or beyond at 14, set by the Cowboys' Brandon Aubrey, all the way back in last year, 2024. Chase Mclaughlin has cemented himself as the best booter the Bucs have ever had. He is moving up the franchise leaderboards in volume stats. His 2 makes against the Cardinals put him just 3 behind Suckup for 6th in franchise history. He still has a ways to go to chase, quote unquote, pun intended, down Martin Gramatica for the all-time Bucs lead at 137 kicks or made field goals. And depending on how long Chase stays with us and how consistent he is, I actually do think that very much is something that he is capable of doing. I have all the faith in the world whenever he goes up to kick. It's really, I always think back to like Aguayo, and just like we had a kicker curse for a long time after Gramatica, and it is so relieving after having Suckup during the Super Bowl run in the Brady years, and now Chase Mclaughlin during the Baker years, that it's not a concern for us anymore, at least for right now. And like these long field goals are awesome. It means that when we get stalled around the 40-yard line, we still have a chance to get points. And you look at all these close wins that we've had without Chase and making his field goals. We don't have the record that we have right now. I truly believe that. So it's so underrated, and it's why back in the day when we selected Aguayo in the second round, I actually agreed with it at the time. Listen, I was a lot younger and a bit more naive in terms of value of kicker, but maybe I was just so frustrated by all the kicking lulls that we had that to go out and get the most accurate kicker at the time in college football history, like in the second round, felt like a good move because I actually valued kicking pretty highly back then too. I wouldn't recommend getting a kicker that high these days, obviously, because it seems like you can just grab a guy off the street and one of them will turn into like an all-time kicker. No one knew who Aubrey was until he started kicking for the Cowboys, and look what he's doing now. So also Cam Little for the Jaguars hitting like 68, 70 yarders. The kicking is getting crazy these days. So listen, shout out to Chase Mclaughlin. He has been doing amazing stuff for this team. Hit some game winners this year. Has just been clutch in every situation. 14-15 in his last kick since week 4 is just spectacular. And 9 for 9 on 50-plus yard field goals, including that 65-yarder. Just unreal stuff. Just hope for more to come. And we need to extend this guy big time. I don't want him going anywhere else because Bucs fans, we have been waiting for a franchise kicker for so long, and we have one here with Chase Mclaughlin. So, and like I said, special teams still not perfect yet. They are still very much working on getting the kick coverage down because it feels like every other kick we're letting these guys get out to like the 40 or 50 yard line, and it's getting to the point where it's like, should we just kick it into the end zone and make them start in the 35 rather than risk our guys chasing guys down? I don't know. I hope that they can get it under control. That's the new spot that they need to focus on during practice. At least there are very obvious flaws and not things that don't make any sense. So all these things, like I said, trust the coaching staff. I trust them, at least in this situation, to get that stuff patched up. Defense, much bigger problem. We talked about in another video. Is it more of a personnel problem? Is it a coaching problem? Is it both? All those things. But just wanted to shout these guys out. And now I want to ask you guys, how are you feeling just special teams wise, making this last push for these the division crown and the playoffs? Do you have faith in them, or is it now it's still kind of like, I could let up at any moment? I think both opinions are very valid. And how do you feel about Chase Mclaughlin? How much do you think that we should pay him to extend him and keep him in Tampa Bay? All this different stuff. Please let me know in the comments below. Subscribe. Get us to 3,000, please. I will not be doing a stream this Sunday. I will be at the game, trying to sweep the Saints. Very excited about all of that. Who knows? Maybe Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan will be back to play this game. They're practicing again today, so we'll keep you updated on all those injuries, all things coming up tomorrow. I'm sure that there'll be kind of the big news of whether we'll be seeing them this weekend or not. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video.